Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into a topic that, let's be honest, affects pretty much every single worker in the UK: statutory sick pay. There are some huge fundamental changes coming in 2026, and we're going to break down exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and what it all means for you. You know that feeling, right? You wake up, you're not well, you absolutely cannot work, but you're also thinking, wait, what happens with my pay? It's a question we've all had to think about. And the system that's meant to help can be, well, kind of confusing. So let's look at the rules as they are right now and see how they're about to be completely rewritten. All right, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the absolute basics. What even is statutory sick pay, or SSP? Then we'll walk through the rules today, which will lead us right into the gaps in the system. Who's getting left behind? After that, the exciting part, the massive changes coming in 2026. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with what this means for you, whether you're an employee or an employer. Okay, first things first. Before we can really appreciate the changes, we've got to understand what we're changing from. So, what is this foundation of the UK's sick pay system? So here's the key thing to get your head around. Statutory sick pay is the legal floor. It's the absolute bare minimum. Your company might have a really generous sick pay policy, and that's great. But SSP is the safety net that every single employer, by law, has to provide to employees who qualify for it. So, with that in mind, how does this all work today, right now? These are the rules for the 2025/26 tax year, and they really set the stage for why the big reforms are happening. The first number to lock into your brain is £118.75. That is the flat weekly rate for SSP. It doesn't matter if you normally earn 200 quid a week or 2,000 a week. If you qualify, this is the amount the law says you're entitled to. But, and this is a huge but, there's a massive catch. To even get that money, you have to earn, on average, at least £125 a week. This is called the lower earnings limit, and as we're about to see, this single rule is the reason a lot of people get left with absolutely nothing. And if that wasn't enough, there's another hurdle. Sick pay doesn't even start on day one. Nope, the first 3 days you're off sick are totally unpaid under the statutory scheme. They're called waiting days, and your pay only kicks in from the 4th day. So you've got this earnings hurdle and 3 unpaid days right at the start. You can probably see where this is going, right? It creates some pretty significant gaps in the safety net. So let's take a look at who's falling through them. Let's make this real. Meet Alex. Alex works part-time and earns £120 a week. That's just £5 under that magic threshold. Now, if Alex gets sick for a whole week and can't work, their statutory sick pay entitlement is 0. Nothing. That tiny £5 difference means the safety net isn't there for them at all. And of course, Alex isn't some rare exception. This system really hits people in part-time work, folks on 0-hour contracts, or just anyone whose pay packet fluctuates right around that £125 mark. It creates this bizarre situation where the people with the smallest financial buffer are the ones who get the least protection. Okay, but all of that is about to change. So let's get to the good part, the solution to this story, the really big reforms that are set to kick in back in 2026. So get your calendars out. The date you need to know is April 6th, 2026. That is the day the new Employment Rights Bill is scheduled to kick in and completely overhaul who gets sick pay, and just as importantly, when they start getting it. So here it is, the first massive change. That £125 lower earnings limit we just talked about, the one that meant Alex got nothing, from April 2026, it's gone, wiped out, completely abolished. This means that your right to sick pay will no longer depend on how much you earn. And the second huge change is the end of those unpaid waiting days. Honestly, this is a total game changer. Instead of having to be sick for 3 days with no pay, SSP will now be paid from the very first day you're off. This is massive for those short-term illnesses that used to leave you out of pocket. Okay, so if everyone's now eligible, what do the lowest earners get? This is where a new little calculation comes into play. You will get the lower of 2 amounts, either 80% of your normal weekly pay or that flat SSP rate of £118.75. Let's look at the example. If you earn £100 a week, you'll get 80% of that, which is £80. Simple. But if you earn, say, £160, you won't get 80%. You'll be capped at the flat rate. So we've covered the old rules, the problems, and the massive new solutions. Let's get to the most important part. What does this actually mean for you? And what, if anything, do you need to do to prepare?
Honestly, it's pretty straightforward. If you're an employee, especially if you work part-time or have irregular hours, the biggest thing is just to know your new rights. From April 2026, you are covered from day one. And for employers, the call to action is clear. Get ready. Your payroll systems, your HR policies, your staff handbooks, they all need to be updated and ready to go before that date hits.
And that really brings us to our final question. These reforms, they are, without a doubt, the biggest expansion of sick pay rights in a generation. It's going to bring millions of the lowest paid workers into the safety net. But it does leave us wondering. With sick pay now available to everyone from day one, is the UK's safety net finally strong enough? Or is this just the first big step on a much longer journey? Thanks for joining me.